Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again today.
From the outside, the 2026 Dodgers appears to be an unrealistic offensive machine.
Just listing their names is enough to take opponent's breath away.
With MVP-caliber talents like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freeman at the core, the Dodgers seem to have the upper hand even before the game begins.
The spectacle is flashy, overwhelming, and even somewhat unfavorable. The lineup with Ohtani batting first and Betts batting second is more of a given than a tactic.
From the first at-bat in the first inning, opposing pitchers are on edge, and even the slightest mistake can lead to immediate runs.
Then comes Freeman. He can be flexibly positioned at third if the opposing pitcher is right-handed, or fourth if the opposing pitcher is left-handed, and that single move can completely destroy the team's pitching plan.
The Dodgers' top batting lineup functions like a machine that anticipates and disrupts the opponent's very thinking.
The manipulating this offense from behind the scenes is manager Dave Roberts' calm, calculating tactical cancer.
The so-called zigzag lineup, alternating left-handed and right-handed hitters, is no coincidence. Will, Mystery, Oscar, Hell suddenly appear in the cleanup role. Max, Manzi, Tommy, Edman, Andy, and Paff switch places depending on the situation.
Everything is planned in advance, and the word unexpected does not exist for this lineup.
The numbers prove its blackness. 244 home runs, 825 runs scored, 768 OPS. All of these are league-leading, dominating opponents not through instinct or momentum, but pure data. The Dodgers are not just a team that looks strong, but a team that is proven to be strong.
At this point, many teams are already giving up.
From Ray Roberts' perspective, the Dodgers' current lineup appears impressive on the surface, but it also harbors significant dependencies.
The team leads the MLB in home runs, runs scored, and OPS.
Roberts acknowledged this is inextricably linked to Shohei Ohtani's presence, and frankly stated that without Ohtani, these numbers would undoubtedly be significantly lower. The issue, he said, isn't the present moment, but the potential risks that would emerge if Ohtani were absent and there were no backups. The lineup's destructive power clearly declines when Ohtani is absent. This is why management believes they should not rely on a single star, but rather need at least one more hitter with high OPS, consistent performance, and few injuries.
When discussing Freddie Freeman, Roberts was very realistic, even while providing a detailed explanation.
He touched on the unavoidable factor of age, noting that Freeman is already 36 and will soon be 37.
Roberts argues that while there are investments that can maintain high performance beyond the age of 36, the case of a hitter is a rare exception. He briefly explained that maintaining adequate body vision against a 100-mile-per-hour ball is extremely difficult. From that perspective, he acknowledged that it's extremely difficult to expect any significant improvement in Freeman's performance, suggesting that if his tendency towards sluggishness continues, the Dodgers will be forced to consider long-term options and even delicate contract decisions. This is why the Dodgers' attention is inevitably turning to the younger generation. Kim Hae-sung, Andy Pages, and Dalton Rushing aren't simply rotation factors or bench insurance. Rather, for the Dodgers, they are more like a lifeline, fueling their future. While the current star-studded lineup is complete, doubts about its sustainability raise questions, and there's no time to waste for young players to emerge as valuable assets. If this generation doesn't achieve the expected growth curve, the Dodgers' dominance could end surprisingly succinctly. MLB history is replete with examples of players boasting overwhelming strength only to find themselves in a tailspin. The Dodgers currently find themselves in a precarious position, constantly winning while simultaneously preparing to make a change. At the same time, it's symbolic that the front office showed no hesitation in addressing their biggest weakness. The decision to spend $69 million over 3 years on Ed Indias, a player with 253 career titles, was not simply a reinforcement. It sent a clear message to the entire league. The Dodgers are not satisfied with stopgap measures. They will unhesitantly take the shortest route if they deem it necessary to win. This approach has instantly silenced the unstable factor of the bullpen. However, not all of the issues have been resolved. The left field position remains fluid. Should they trust in internal promotions, or should they go to the market? While the statement that doing nothing about Andy Friedman's limited talent seems prudent at first glance, it actually verges on a provocation, tinged with intense confidence and composure. Even choosing not to make a move is a strategy for the Dodgers. From Dave Roberts' perspective, the Dodgers' vision for the Dodgers' left field position is gradually becoming clearer, and Depala's name has emerged as a strategic choice rather than a temporary one. Roberts noted that Depala played numerous games in left field during his minor league development and emphasized that this is not a coincidence. The reason for his frequent left field placement is that his current skill set as a young player is a strong fit with the position, including his ability to read the ball's trajectory, his stepping ability to cover a wide area, and his rapid release enough to consistently control the left field.
Roberts also emphasized that the Dodgers are not locking Depala into a fixed role.
While management has rotated him in center field and right field to increase defensive flexibility, they recognize that he performs most naturally and efficiently in left field. Roberts explained that this approach allows the team to maximize his immediate strengths while simultaneously assessing the long-term potential of other positions. Roberts did not hide his action when discussing Depala's position within the organization. He acknowledged that Depala's consistent performances on the biggest youth stages have quickly elevated him to the team's top prospects, and MLB Pipeline has also recognized him as one of the league's top young prospects. Roberts assessed Depala as possessing mature playmaking beyond his years. He described him as a player with a combination of power, technical ability, and a desire to constantly improve. Based on this foundation, Roberts made a clear statement regarding his plans for the left field position. Because of his presence, we don't see the need to look outside for a new left fielder. This brief but firm statement demonstrates the Dodgers' high confidence in Depala, not just as a prospect, but as a substantial piece of the team's future vision. Joshua Depala is currently one of the most promising young players in the Los Angeles Dodgers development system, highly regarded by experts for both his potential and speed of development.
Born May 24, 2005 in Brooklyn, New York, Depala plays outfield and hits left-handed.
He possesses the ideal physique for a modern outfielder, boasting outstanding height and athleticism. He signed a professional contract with the Dodgers as an undrafted international player in 2022, and in his first season in the Dominican Summer League, he made a strong impression with batting ability well beyond his years. His maturity, fortitude, and power at the plate made him one of Takuma's most highly anticipated prospects within the Dodgers organization.
In subsequent seasons, Depala progressed through the minor league ranks, from Single-A to High-A, demonstrating his swift aptitude at each stage. In addition to maintaining consistent batting performance, he has steadily improved his base speed, outfield defense, and overall game development, leading Dodgers management to recognize him as a potential tool player.
The greatest highlight of Jose Depala's young career was his selection to the MLB All-Star Futures Game.
Amidst a team comprised of some of the nation's most talented young players, Depala hit a game-changing home run and was named MVP.
This impressive departure underscored his status as a standout, not just within the Dodgers organization, but also on the MLB prospect map. During this interview, Jose Depala began by clearly expressing his gratitude to manager Dave Roberts and his partner Takanori Takamoto. His words were unadorned, and he made no grand promises about his future. He simply stated his desire to fulfill his role with outstanding results, and his attitude perfectly summed up his current position. He hadn't suffered the typical setbacks or injuries that young players often suffer, and his eyes were already set on the next step. The atmosphere in the room suddenly changed when Depala shared an unexpected story. Shohei Ohtani personally came to pick him up during a recent practice session.
He then spoke calmly,
but with a firm sense of reality about the direct instruction he received at the Dodgers facility.
His tone was far from boastful. Rather, it was as if he was sorting out the facts that gave his words greater weight.
Depala's portrayal of Oya differed somewhat from the image of a superstar that the general public might have.
He was not a figure of attention, but rather a coach who generously shared his skills and experience.
The details of his swing, the way he took the ball around the bat, the way he positioned his eyes at the plate. Depala described these as sensations he had never experienced before and admitted that his own sense of baseball was quietly shaken.
The significance of this interaction went beyond simple individual instruction. A leader at the top stood at the same eye level with the young players who represent the future, communicating with them through words and actions.
In that moment, the distance between them narrowed, and the ideological battle between legend and prospect became surprisingly blurred.
Rather than a hierarchical relationship, there was a quiet continuity of succession.
Discussions about the Dodgers erupted on American baseball TV. The legends who sat in the studio were all former World Series champions and era-defining players.
They unanimously acknowledged the destructive power of the current Dodgers batting lineup.
There was no disagreement that such a highly accomplished offense is rare in recent MLB.
However, their words were accompanied by caution. As the star player surveyed the Dodgers' faces, he quietly pointed out that being strong and staying strong are two different things.
Age is an unavoidable factor, no matter how accomplished or talented a player may be.
For Noda especially, every year from his mid-30s onward becomes a challenge.
They have all experienced this reality throughout their careers. Another legend cited past dynasties, the Yankees, Astros, and Giants. While all were packed with stars, their true strength lay in their continued winning streak despite constant turnover. The strongest team isn't the one with the most famous names, but one with a structure that can withstand change.
His words sounded like a direct question directed at the Dodgers' current team. The discussion naturally shifted to the Dodgers' vision for the future.
The legends were divided on whether to complete their short-term dominance with their current strength or to build a long-term reign while encouraging a generational change in the organization. However, they all agreed that the team was already at a crossroads. Finally, as the studio fell silent, the host posed a question. How will the Dodgers of 2026 be remembered in the future?
No one knows the answer yet.
But one thing is certain. They are no longer simply competitors, but are beginning to take on the very axis of historical evaluation. Will the Dodgers be remembered as a dynasty or as a fleeting machine that reached the pinnacle of perfection?
The answer will depend on future choices and time.
Well, that's all I have to say about today's topic. Thank you very much for watching until the end. Your support, comments, and warm encouragement are a great encouragement for me to make the next video. If you found today's content helpful or interesting in any way, I would be thrilled if you could like or share it.
And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please take this opportunity to do so.
We will continue to provide you with content that you can enjoy, as well as information that will lead to new discoveries.
Please look forward to the next video. So, have a great day today. See you in the next video.